Alright, so hello and good day to all of you wonderful viewers out there. Hi, I'm Awesome Joe, and thank you guys so much for taking in the time of your day to watching another episode of Awesome Joe's Movie Reviews. And today we're going to be talking about the newest MCU movie that's out in theaters right now, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. This is a movie that we have been waiting for quite a long while now, ever since that we got the really impressive and very successful Spider-Man No Way Home. So here we are, we're getting the continuation of this character. It is his second solo film after a long way. We've gotten to see him in several other of the MCU movies, but we finally get his second adaptation to his set of films. So, and the big question is about when it comes to this video is, did I love the movie or did I very much hate the movie? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about here today, because right now many people have already gone out to watching this movie, and right now when it comes to reactions and critic-wise, it is a huge mix right now. Some people enjoyed it, some others were disappointed by it. And as to why, well, there are several explanations and very understanding to those explanations as to why this movie cannot be just as successful as what you would call either Avengers Endgame or even Spider-Man No Way Home. So here we go. This movie is directed by Mr. Sam Raimi, and we all know who Mr. Sam Raimi is, having to be the director of the very successful Spider-Man trilogy back in the early 2000s. And then, of course, he did Oz the Great and Powerful, the Evil Dead movies. So, and this dude, I've even saw that one, Drag Me to Hell, as well, too. This guy is really good at directing horror films. So that's where he comes in. And this movie does have horror some horror genre in it. There is an in particular scene where Elizabeth Olsen's Wanda Maximoff, where she, and I'm not going to give out any spoilers to when it comes to this movie, because this movie just came out, and I know a lot of people are very excited, and I don't want to ruin the expectations of as to what you're going to be experiencing in this movie. But there's a scene where Wanda Maximoff, she just gives this quick stare, like breaking the fourth wall look at the audiences, and just having to look at that split-second stare, it felt literally like she was staring into my soul. I mean, that darkness that she has coming out of her eyes, and when I see that, it just really creeps me out. There's several jump scares in this. In some way, you would think that this movie could be rated R, because there's actually some very brutal stuff that goes on in this, and I mean, and it's no surprise either too. Some characters are going to die. I'm not going to say who, and I'm not going to say how, and I'm not going to say when, but you know, it was a very interesting take on these certain characters that I wish we would have gotten to see more screen time with. But of course, this movie is only going to give us what it is intending to develop a story. So yeah, some of these characters do get killed off, and I'm just like, no, I wanted to see more, but okay, that's fine. I hope that we do get to see more of whatever characters that had very minimal time in this movie, and hoping that we get the opportunity to do so. I am going to talk a little bit of spoilers towards the ending of the video, and I'll give you a fair, clear warning when that does happen, so that way I don't spoil anything for anybody of you guys. But if you want to continue on watching, go ahead and do so, and I'll let you guys know once I get to that. So yes, Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch coming back. Yeah, I really did. I didn't like so much of the first film of Doctor Strange, but I really did love him in Infinity War, and it was great getting to see him again in Endgame, and then even more better in Spider-Man No Way Home. And even if he did have a small little cameo going on in Thor Ragnarok, he was still really impressive, and I loved his performance. It really got me to loving the character even more than how I felt in the first film. So here he is, he's back, and I loved him in What If as well too. That's actually my favorite episode, where Doctor Strange, he is reversing time, trying to save the love of his life, but yet instead of having to doing so, he succeeds, but having to destroy the entire universe altogether. That was an impressive episode. That was actually an episode that I really would have wished could have been the sequel to Doctor Strange. And in some way, this movie is in sort of some kind of relation to that. There's some different aspects as to what If, the TV show on Disney Plus, did, that is actually a part of this movie in some relation, not to an exact tone. But it was really great getting to see and how so much, a lot of the What If Disney Plus show was in it. And you have to, in a way, you kind of do have to watch these TV shows on Disney Plus in order to understand this movie. You do have to do your homework to get a clearer understanding, especially with WandaVision, which is actually my favorite MCU Disney Plus TV show. You definitely got to watch that in order to understand this movie as to where it's coming from. And there is a talk of some secret enemy lurking in the backgrounds. It's not identified as to who, and even if I did know who it was, I really would not want to spoil that. But really, it's not revealed, but it is given out a hint as to who in the world this secret enemy is. Having to talking about it and then jumping into changing the conversation. This movie also has Wong coming back, which is a very beloved character coming back. Benedict Wong. He is an excellent Sorcerer Supreme leader. I love on how he just performs that in the movie, and he's just always a beloved character. Every single time we get to seeing him, we know the last time we got to see him was of course in Spider-Man No Way Home, but I love getting to seeing him in ShangChi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, fighting against the Abomination. So that was really cool. But yeah, getting to see him in here was really awesome. And he does a lot more stunt work, a lot of fight scenes. So it was really great, him being a great addition to this movie. I just came back from watching this movie, and I'm having to doing this review while it's still fresh in my head because I have a very big, long, busy weekend. So I'm trying to do the best I can to shorten this video as much as possible for the entertainment of all you wonderful viewers out there, and for me to express the way that I felt about the movie. But yeah, anyways, here we go. We got these two, Doctor Strange and Wong, who are introduced to this new character, who is America Chavez, played by Xochitl Gomez. And I'm very fascinated by this character because there's a huge question mark as to where these powers really originated from. And they do give out a glimpse as to how it all started, but what was the purpose? How did it all come to be? They showed on how it happened, but they didn't say exactly as to why. So possible mutant maybe from another universe, because that is where she has come from, but is now part of our MCU. So, but she's a very main reason as to why this movie takes place, because she has this superpower where she can open portals, star portals, into different universes, and that's what brings in the Wanda Maximoff Scarlet Witch character, Elizabeth Olsen, who we remember from the WandaVision, having now in possession of the Darkhold book, and now she is using it to finding her children in another universe, from what we saw at the end credit scene of the WandaVision series. Plus the fact I would love to have gotten a second season if possible, but that was only a limited series, so we're not really getting anything off of that. And have in mind that as well too, I am working on the Moon Knight series review as well, knowing that came to a series finale, season finale. to be exact, and I really want to talk about it, but right now it's all about Doctor Strange. I mean, as great as Moon Knight is right now, and how favorable it is, and can't wait to see what happens next with this character, right now it's all about Doctor Strange, since it's just released out today. And then we get Christine Palmer, which is returning back Rachel McAdams. She does get more screen time in this movie, but is not in particularly the same character that we remember from the first film, even though she had a very minimal amount of time in that movie. Her being in this, it's a really different turn, and in ways kind of saying, because it's like, it's very poetic, it's very beautiful, and how much, no matter what universe you're in, these two characters, Doctor Strange and Christine, as much as they would love each other, the chemistry between the two, in a personal level and in a cinematic level, they just don't connect, and that's very poetic, but also sad at the same time. Wishing that they could have that chemistry and coming together and having to live happily ever after. But it appears as though with the amount of power this Doctor Strange has, no matter if it's an RMCU or in another multiverse universe, there is a dark fate that lures in this Doctor Strange character, something that is an ultimate fate that is leading towards this character that I just cannot wait to see, because I mean, remember what happened in What If, and then what goes on in this movie. It just comes to say that it's not going to end well for Doctor Strange. Things are going to take a huge toll on our main character, and maybe this Doctor Strange is actually the ultimate variant, the one that could go ahead and not be a part of that dark fate that all other universes of Doctor Strange turns itself towards, going to that darker realm. So it's very, for me, I find it very poetic, and I think that it's really great, and it makes me much more inspired as to what could happen in the next chapter. We get returning back Mordo. This is a character I was really looking forward to seeing once more again, because we haven't seen him since Doctor Strange in 2016, the first movie. But yet here he is, finally returning in a way. It's a variant from another universe, and it kind of was a little disappointing for me, because even though that he looks great, Chiwetel Ejiofor is a brilliant actor, and then the way he looks in this movie is just phenomenal. I loved it. It was great getting to see him again, but it's not the same character. I wanted to see a continuation of this character, even though that he seems a tad bit different away from the original character that he played in the first film, but he's pretty much still the same, but it's just not the same guy. So that kind of really just got me disappointed, but still excited to seeing him, but I wanted to see a continuation story of his character in our MCU. And then when it comes to the WandaVision show, we do get returning back the children, Wiccan and Speed, played by Julian Hilliard and Jet Klein. So it was great getting to see them. They look like they haven't even aged a day. I think that they might have filmed this the same time they were doing WandaVision, because you know how kids are while doing filming development, that they age kind of pretty quickly. WandaVision came out last year, about a year and a half ago, and now here we are a year and a half later, and those kids could have aged a little bit more than enough to where they are a little bit more grown up compared to how they were in the show. So yes, it was an excellent movie for me. I found it very exciting to watch, and there is some action packed in there. There's some horror elements in there, like I said before, because of Mr. Sam Raimi being an excellent director in some particular positions. But I'm going to come up to having to talking about the quick spoilers, because there are a few things in there that I really want to talk about real quick, because I have no time for a different video, a spoiler video, to talk about this. So I'm going to talk about it right now. Spoiler alert, everybody. You guys have been warned, so let's go ahead and talk about this right now. So you guys have been warned. Here we go. So we already know that Patrick Stewart's coming back as Professor Xavier in the yellow hover chair, and it was great getting to see him. I was so amped up and so excited. Cannot wait to see it. We get these Ultron bots as well too in this. You would think that we would be getting something of Iron Man, because this is the introduction of the Illuminati, which is in a completely different universe, and you get Professor Xavier, which is Patrick Stewart. This was already hinted out there because it was in a TV spot, but Captain Carter, even when it was in the first Doctor Strange poster, Captain Carter, Haley Atwell is in this. This is so great. I love seeing her. She was just phenomenal. I loved her in the What If show, and getting to see her again here was actually so cool. Then you get Captain Marvel, but not Brie Larson's Captain Marvel, but Maria Rambeau's Captain Marvel. Lashana Lynch comes into this. Was great getting to see her, which, by the way, on trailers, I think that's what people were confused of, that's thinking that, oh, well, this is actually a variant to Tony Stark as Supreme Iron Man, which is going to be played by Tom Cruise. That was a speculation. Didn't happen. That wasn't it. That was just this version of Captain Marvel's character, Lashana Lynch, Maria Rambeau. Then you get Black Bolt, which is played by Anson Mount, and a much more accurate look to how his character looks like in the comic books. And it's the same dude that actually plays the Black Bolt in the Inhumans TV show, which was not a successful show to watch. That was on TV at the time. And the one that really caught me, that I loved so much, and I knew was happening because it was debuted to know that he spoke with Marvel Disney about being part of whatever project they had him planned to be in. Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, played by John Krasinski. I mean, when I saw that right away, and the outfit, the Fantastic Four outfit, was just so awesome. Great getting to see all these characters in the Illuminati, but that was the one I was just like, this is actually happening. This is something that, it's very fan based, yes, but it was, I love it when studios pay attention and listen to the audiences as to what they are expecting in this movie, and that it fits in with what story they're trying to tell. Not just to say, oh, well, we're just going to do it just to have you guys buy a ticket to watching this movie. No, it's not just that. It's, for a significant purpose. And even though that these characters are only in the movie for a very minimum amount of time, it was just so great getting to seeing them there. There is hints of also the Invisible Woman in this, but not casted just yet. I mean, John Krasinski is not even our Mr. Fantastic in the MCU. No, this is just a variant version of John Krasinski. So he was only in this for within that minimal amount of time. But if I were to say I want to see more of him as our actual MCU, Dr. Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, absolutely, let's do it. I loved seeing him in this. I felt like it was Reed Richards, and I want to see more. So I was really excited about that, and I really wanted to talk about that. But the one that really caught me here, because you know how MCU movies are, they always have a mid-credit scene and an end-credit scene. Let's talk about the end-credit scene. It's just plain garbage. I mean, it was just so stupid. I don't even want to talk about it. But like I said, these are all spoilers. You guys have been warned. But the end... let me say that the audience that I was with in that theater just got mad, because we were expecting something to be just awesome that's going to pop up. And I just... oh my God, did I get mad. I got so mad. But the mid-credit scene, this is the one that really caught my attention, because... out of nowhere, Doctor Strange is walking in New York City, and all of a sudden, this character pops up, and immediately, I already knew it was Charlize Theron. As to who the character was, I had no idea, so I had to do some homework, but it was great just getting to see her. I love her. She's so cool. She plays the character Clea, which is Dormammu's niece, which is the bad guy from the first movie, and from the Dark Dimension. And according to comic books, she has the same power similarities as Doctor Strange, but she also one day becomes the love interest and future wife of Doctor Strange. So it was great getting to see that. she's just like Doctor Strange, but with more purple magic aspects. So it was great getting to see, knowing that that's happening, and they open a dimensional portal into going into the dark dimension, which is the next chapter in whatever's gonna, whenever Doctor Strange is going to reappear again. As to whether or not it's going to be the third Doctor Strange movie, or if it's going to be in, you can't say an Avengers movie, but it is great to see that, because now they're doing it now, where at the ending of the movie, they're doing it now, saying Doctor Strange will return, that this superhero will return. But it doesn't say what movie exactly, so it seems as though we're getting very close now as to what big event is starting to happen. Because yes, we've been getting a lot of little kinks in all of the Phase 4 Marvel movies and TV shows, luring it into something big, and which is not even announced yet, and I cannot wait until that is finally announced. Talking about announcements here, I'm already done doing spoilers here, but yes, it is clarified out there, and I completely forgot, but when it happened, I was like, yes, awesome, finally we get to see this, and it's finally happening. It's finally coming at the ending of this year. Not theatrical, but the teaser trailer to the next Avatar movie, finally here after a decade. Actually, a little more than a decade. I think it was like, what, 12 years already? 12 years now. Avatar: The Way of Water, which is kind of a ridiculous title, and of course it's going to be a water adventure, the next chapter in this whole thing. Actually, it's like, what, a 4-movie set franchise thing, 4 to 5. But yeah, just seeing it alone, it was just actually phenomenal. You could see in how much they have adapted the computer work. I mean, it just looks more realistic in this little teaser clip than it did. I mean, it still looks really realistic in the first film, but I mean, you could just see how much they have just improved. But yeah, anyways, you guys, Rotten Tomatoes, I'm gonna go ahead and stop talking here already so that way we can move forward on with this video. I'm almost finished here. On Rotten Tomatoes, they went ahead and rated this thing a 78%, which I find is very impressive. Most people would think that it should have been a higher percentage, but I think that it's a very fair. I find that Doctor Strange is a really great, fantastic character to watch as a supportive character in other MCU movies. I find him more successful that way than his own solo flicks. But it was still a great movie, don't get me wrong. But for me, I find that my percentage, the way that I felt about the film, I give it a 72%, which is still pretty good. Don't get me wrong, it's still pretty good. I had a fun time with this. I did think that the movie was a little bit too overwhelming. So much was going on, but yet still entertaining to watch. Would it be something I would like to watch again? Absolutely. It will be part, once it comes out on DVD, I will buy it and make it a part of my MCU collection of movies, so I can't wait for that. There's just so much that are going on when it comes to that universe, so it's one of the biggest successful universes in cinematic history. So yeah, everybody, that is going to be my review for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. What did you guys think? Have you guys gone to check it out? It is out in theaters right now, in your local theaters. Go and check it out. Come back here and be a part of the awesome conversation that we have here today. If you have any other further questions, comments, complaints, or concerns, please feel free to leave it down in the comments section at the bottom. Let's have an awesome time talking about this movie or any movies that you like to talk about in general, because I love to talk about movies, but most importantly, I love to talk about them with you. And don't forget that you can check out some more of my videos on Facebook and on YouTube. Just look me up at Awesome Joe Movie Reviews. Don't forget to click on that like and subscribe button there, everybody. I really do appreciate everybody's support in my channel. It is a huge personal hobby of mine, and I love sharing it amongst all of you wonderful viewers out there. So, like I said, I'm working on Moon Knight. It's going to be a busy weekend for me, but I'll get to it eventually, because when it comes to that show, I really do want to talk about it. I've been meaning to talk about it within these last 6 weeks, but I never have gotten the chance to. Just so much is going on. So anyways, everybody, I'm Awesome Joe. Keep on living the dream, and as always, stay awesome. And there's still much more projects that are coming out. May is going to be ridiculously busy for me, and man, I hope I get everything done successfully, and I hope everybody enjoys everything that I put a lot of hard work for. But yes, anyways, you guys, I'll see everybody in the next video. Bye.